There's a wacky local guy in this town named Franklin fishing hook up. He's doing it. Someone needs to be careful. You guys are awesome. Hey, coming up right now is a gentleman who started comedy at the young age of 74. He is still trying new things. He also helps us a lot with promotion and advertising. Let's welcome Sacreligious Dave.
Hello, everyone. Tonight is a special request by the star of the show. So, but don't panic because it is about drugs. This goes back into the early 70s when Sacreligious Dave was working in Washington, D.C., working for a company, and I was a supervisor over some guys that we used to do some construction layout. We had our own little van. There was 3 of us. And one of the things that was rather distinctive about our particular group was that no matter how cold it got in Washington, D.C., we always had to roll down all the windows in the van before we headed back to the office so that no one there would get too high when they opened the door from the marijuana smoke. And one of my buddies there, one of my work buddies, was one of these kind of guys we all loved. Well, not me anymore, but you young guys always loved. He was called the guy who can get you whatever recreational drug you happen to really want to use. And one day I had heard some young people talking, younger than me, about how much fun it was to drop some acid and go down to the Air and Space Museum and the planetarium and watch all the stars and stuff. And I'd read about how cool it was, how the trees all blend together and everything just really a cool thing. So I asked my buddy Rick, I said, can you give me some of that acid stuff? He said, sure. So the next day at work, he brought me a little brown pill, and I put it in my pocket and took it home. At the time, I was living over near Rockville Park, which is a really beautiful area over in Washington, D.C. And living there with my mom and my 2 kids. I didn't happen to have a wife at the time. And so the following weekend on Sunday morning I got up, and obviously I didn't have to go to church. So I headed down to Rock Creek Park and found a really beautiful grassy knoll and some beautiful trees, and took my little pill that Rick gave me and laid back on the grass and waited for the show. And waited for the show. And waited for the show. Well, I'm not the most patient dude in the world. So after about 15 or 20 minutes, I said, bullshit. Rick has screwed me, and he didn't give me any acid. He must have given me some goddamn aspirin or something. So I just got up and said, shit, I'm going to go out home and find something else to do. By the time I found my house, I was a fucking raving lunatic. Let me tell you. Fortunately, my mother didn't call the cops. She called Rick, who rushed over, threw me in his car, took me back to his place, stripped me, threw my ass in a cold shower for God knows how long, gave me some good old doper's remedy, and I survived my first, last, and only trip on acid. And that's the way it is. Anyway, I see the light, and you come back here every week. Next week, I do have a special thing I noticed I want everybody to think about. I want everybody to think which they would rather have. Heaven for eternity or reincarnation. And we're going to cover that in next week's religious program. Thank you.
Sacreligious day. Yeah. Heaven for eternity or reincarnation. You know, it's a cold day in hell and sacrilegious day. It blows your mind. I'm going to utilize the light system we have. The next comic we have coming to the stage is a very funny young guy. He is quickly becoming a favorite of mine. He has hosted our program